Welcome to whoever is here. This is my PT party, the one that I'm throwing this party for like the third anniversary that I'll never get to celebrate for Ball of Nothing. Um, Basically, it's because it's premature. Anyway, yeah, it's prematurely ending, so it will be like 3 weeks short of the actual third year anniversary. Hello, Ella. I see you there. So yes, the truant army I really have to thank because without them, for most parts of my book, I think it was from season 2 to season 3, or is it season 4, somewhere there? Yeah, it was like season 2 to early season 4. I had my proofreader Ashmirth with me. It was um it was quite the journey. And I've been writing this since I can't remember. Okay, let's just check. I've been writing this since 2 years ago. They don't even give me the date now, but okay, well, it's 2 years. It's coming 3 years. So it has a total of 300, not 300, I'm sorry. It's 636 chapters. So the book stats are a little bit crazy. It wasn't this crazy, but I've been here for a long time, so yeah, this is crazy enough. It's at 3 million views. So if I go to my back end, I will see there's like 1,000 something something. No, not 1,000. 1 million something something words. It's crazy. It's really freaking crazy. Like for someone who was in the self published path, who came from fan fictions, like you wouldn't think you'd be able to do 100,000 words. Like before I started Ball of Nothing, my highest word count was 120,000 words. And then this monster of a pet project came, and I don't know how I ended up writing this for over 2 years, and I got depression, and I got a lot of things that, just didn't pay off for me. Mm, yeah, it was a pet project that blew up, and I didn't expect that, and I didn't know how web novel worked until like a year ago, which was probably too late because I had big plans that didn't work out because Ball of Nothing was essentially a philosophical fiction, which also means it's very, very niche. And it started off as a daily writing prompt exercise. So, okay, short story. It's like back then when I was 17, my life was like going downhill. And at 22, I was suicidal. So, at 23, when I wrote this, I was just trying to not be suicidal, like trying to find a reason to write again. Because I wrote my suicide letter in a novel itself, which was the 120,000 word novel. But, anyways, yeah, long story short, this was the very first project that I did after I was suicidal. So it's like my rebirth, and then this is my rebirth's first work. So this is my baby, which is why I'm a little bit crazy. I have no plans for tonight's stream except to kind of be a crackhead and be completely myself because web novel doesn't allow me to be myself so much that I gave no fucks anymore, and I did works that are just essentially sellout works. So yeah, that's the story of my life. So until something happens to it and makes a miracle change, I'm gonna just continue being me. So Ball of Nothing is it's classified as fantasy, but really it's philosophical fiction. But web novel doesn't have many diversity, so yeah, there's no way I can classify these properly as philosophical fiction. And it originally was in female lead, just saying. I don't know why, but it was in female lead, and then I changed it to male lead because the character was male, and initially he had no gender. I say a he because it's easier that way, like zero he, but actually it's gender neutral. He has no genitals. He doesn't need the toilet, but he eats a lot. So it's not even human. Like, come on. And web novel doesn't have that kind of thing. So I had to choose one. Like, I was forced to choose one. Like, if you look on the female lead, that's fantasy. If you look on the male lead, that's also fantasy. But then I was told that, male lead does better. So I kind of put it on the male lead. And, moral of the story is a lot of the readers reading my books are traps. So earlier on, when they had this contract editor meeting with Roy, I'm newly contracted with Roy because so I have like 4 content editors now, um, of which 3 content editors are editors of my completed books. My newest book is Monarch of Solitude, which just got like contract approved 2 days ago. Which just got like locked premium like today. So Roy is my newest editor, but already they know that I'm crazy. And then what I did was yeah, what I did was I took off on not a very good note in genre wise. It was not a very good note. Like they say ML sells, so you just put it on the ML. I did put it on the ML, and then after that, people were asking me. It was like the traps. I don't know why the topic of traps came out on Roy's Discord voice chat editors meeting. Like every Friday, it's a contract editor and a contract author and editor meeting. So someone said something about traps, like pull out all the traps. Like okay, I think the chronology was this. It was the first time that we are hosting VC with a bunch of new people who were newly contracted under Roy, so I was one of them. And then, because they had so many people then, we were all taking turns to speak, and people who had never heard my voice before, who don't know who I am, because, well, I'm a relatively small author. So they were like, you sound like they were mind blown by my voice. And then, well, I've been told many things like, oh, you should do voice acting. Oh, you should be a VTuber. Which, by the way, this is why I'm currently, that you see that thing in the right corner of my screen now. Yeah, I paid for that using the money that I got from my Patreon. So thank you so much. It's possible only because of my Patreons. Yeah. Anyways, it's So they were shocked at my voice, and then after that, someone actually had the audacity to tell me that I sounded like Google Translate. If you go to Google Translate and then you hit the voice button just to see what they say, I sound like Google Translate. Google freaking Translate. But I would say that maybe that is because I had been streaming for 2.5 hours last night before tonight's stream, so it's crazy in all its rightful manners, which I don't mind. But well, I was like, I'm offended that you actually think of me as a Google Translate thing. And I don't know how it became like a what's that? Samsung Sam. So that's where the traps came from. And because of that trap thing, and then they were like, where do all the traps come from? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry, it came from my server. And the reason why I have so many traps is because, well, first and foremost, this is a very androgynous. Can you see the text? It's gender neutral, it's androgynous. And a lot of the boys or the male targeted audience who read my book are traps, or at least they claim that they are traps. So I have Junian, the cult leader of Ball of Nothing. They are a Minecraft enthusiast, a school failure, as well as a self-proclaimed trap. Which I honestly don't know how, but yeah, this is my fan club. I left my fan club officially because I didn't want to see my fandom die before their creator dies. So that's yeah, that's going down the spiral of depression again. So I'll stop here. Okay, so first and foremost, this is going to be I planned it to be anyways, a throwback stream because I have not been checking Ball of Nothing for like the very long time, for like the longest time. But I know every chapter that comes out will have one comment from Huzian. Huzian is like the person who's been reading from the very start of this book. So he has been with me. I think he's a medical student, or like he works in the medical industry or something. So every time he comes, I come up with a chapter, he'll be there. He'll be like the first to comment, the first to, and he's never stopped. I just want to say that dedication to see this book to the end is really something. I don't think he reads any of my other works, but he is definitely the one person I know is still around reading my stuff. Okay, so yeah, so I have, how many do I have here? I have 64 ratings. I have 64 reviews. Okay, I just deleted one because it's like an eyesore that I didn't want to see anymore, like earlier before I started stream. So just want to say that this synopsis was actually changed because, well, the editor and the people with Bryce's team said that it was not captivating enough and it was super ambiguous. So for those of you who were here like 2 years ago when you first read this, it was, yeah, it's something like this, but it's definitely not this. So this part over here that I'm highlighting is definitely not mine. Everything else is yeah, I added on all these disclaimers and stuff because people were being extremely toxic in season one. I mean, season one was when I just came out of depression and I was like trying to find back my writer self by doing like daily writing prompts, and this happened. So let's see all the drama that was there. I removed some of it when the delete comment function first existed. I was the first person to discover that, and I went around telling every other author, like, look, you can delete all these potato topics, like the people you don't like can die virtually, like, just poof, their existence no more. Yeah, I was so thrilled. I told everyone that, and I mass deleted at one point a lot of things and people that I don't like. And they never came back because, they don't deserve it and they don't know it. And I don't care about them, honestly. So, yeah, there's a huge jump of writing styles in season 1 and season 2 standards because season 1 is a writing prompt kind of exercise. Like, I have no common sense. If you take a look at all my titles over here, it looks like the writer was on constant drugs when they wrote this. Yeah, so it's yeah, like I said, it's philosophical, and I don't know why chapter 8 is here, but anyways, I'm too lazy to go change it, so I'm not doing it. So it's a bird, it's a play, no, it's Namikuji, and I got this because back then I was working at Melissa Zaka, which is a Japanese, what's that called again? Japanese souvenir shop in Singapore. So my boss, Makino-san said, Namikuji 知らないのか? I was like, Namikuji sounds very familiar, like what's Namikuji? And then he explained, Namekuji nuru nuru desu yo. And then I was like, oh, okay, wait, let me go and get Google Translate, the actual Google Translate, not myself. So I went there and I was like, oh, no wonder it sounded familiar. It came from Naruto. It's like, you remember, you have the QB, the nine-tailed fox, and then you have Susanoo from Sasuke. And then after that, you have this huge slime from Tsunade. Yeah, that is Namekuji. So it's a slug. So it's a slimy thing, and Nuru Nuru is slimy, and I was like, Namekuji is a slug. So that kind of inspired this particular chapter. I remember that it was like, because I had allergies working there. I worked there for a total of 8 months, but I definitely learned a lot more than the 8 months were worth. So I remember I started off as a full-time office administrator. Actually, I was like the manager of the entire thing. So yeah, my boss went to Japan in the second month, and I was in charge of operations, like completely in charge of operations. That was my title was a retail no, not retail. What was that? What's the official thing again? Logistics something. Ah, procurement executive or something like that. Procurement administrative procurement executive, something like this. Well, anyway, it's like kind of like a one man admin, like something. And then there was me, and then there was a designer, and then there were my bosses, and that's it. So it's like 2 of us in the office with the boss. And then after that, when the boss went to Japan, and the missus is Mrs. handles the storefront, and I have to handle the background. So I had to handle everything in there except for signing off the checks. So yeah, that was when I actually knew that I couldn't do this anymore full time, because it's not like an air conditioned office kind of space like you see in my Instagram before we moved out. No, it wasn't that kind of office. It was actually a storage space that they put tables and chairs in, and then you sit there and you work. And I did not have that bad of a sinus allergy before these started, but after it started, it got worse. So I kind of cut down. And I said, Makino-san, dame desu yo. It's like I keep on sneezing. I keep on having these flu-like symptoms, but I'm not sick. The moment I get out of that space, I'll be okay. So that was not good. And I cut down my working hours, which is why I brought my laptop to work back then. So it's like I work, and then after that, half a day I would camp. I remember still, it was at Somerset, so I camped at Size area because it was like free flow coffee during the time that I was after work. So I had lunch there, and I had free flow coffee all the way until my laptop battery dies, and then I go home. So this part over here, most of season 1 was actually written in either Size area or McDonald's or Starbucks, or somewhere with number one free Wi-Fi, and somewhere that sells coffee that I can drink, and somewhere that is near a washroom that I can place my laptop there in case I have to go, and the waiters will take care of it for me. So that was how it began, writing this. I didn't know anywhere else to write because I only wrote on fanfiction.net prior to this. I didn't even write on AO3 until like 2 years ago, okay? And I still haven't transferred all the things. That's Snowball Monster Part 2, but I don't want to talk about that until it's done. And then after that, it's what was that? Yeah, fanfiction.net was like my very, very first, so it was not so bueno. It didn't even have schedule. And then after that, I wrote on Wattpad, which was considerably okay because I came from fanfiction.net, and you have to upload your Word documents there. So I kind of like the concept of Wattpad's writing on the website itself to publish, but I still wanted something that has a schedule function. So I went around searching, like, is there any publication platforms that I can write on? And then web novel at that point of time just started, and they like to flaunt their money. They said that they'll pay you to write, and I was like, well, I don't need to get paid so soon to write, but I want to write, so I'm gonna check out their platform, which was okay. So web novel, unlike a lot of the other e-fiction platforms that I covered yesterday, in yesterday's 2.5 hour stream. Oh my god, my voice is dying. Okay, so it's like I checked out the platform. It was on PC first before it became an app. So I was more accustomed to these PC site, and I went to their backend. And I absolutely loved the fact that you can schedule a publication so that I don't have to save it on my hard disk, so I can write on it and then just leave it be. I originally did not have my Google Docs, so now if you see, I can just open this for you. If you see this, I have gotten a little bit more tech savvy over the years of writing because my books are like all over the place. But I did not originally have this when I first started writing web novel Ball of Nothing. I only created this after I realized that I could no longer trust in Stone with the autosave. It did not have autosave, and it killed me once. But because back then I was like writing like a lot of chapters in one day because my chapters were short. It was like 500 words, 200 words to 500 words like in the beginning. So yeah, this actually came out after half of season 1 was done. After half of season 1 was done, when I started, doing a little bit more of a plot thing, when he started moving to Earth and all this kind of thing. It's not just a random kind of, yeah, halfway through, maybe about 50 chapters or so, then I started this thing, which is, as you can see. So these are my files. Truan would know. When I say Truan, I mean the Truan Army. The Truan Army, which means my beta reader. So it's a Destiny Suji Tiny Army kind of thing. So those of you who know, Truan Army is the official name for all my beta readers and my proofreaders. Ashmouth is the forerunner for my Truan Army. So I had a couple of them, and not all of them were good. Lots of them just want to be a toxic bitch, so I said no thank you. And I moved on, and then I found Ashmouth, who stayed with me for a greater part of my journey. So this is, as you can see, yeah, I have 4 seasons worth of master files, and each thing is I don't even know, man. Each file is probably 800 pages long or something. So it's no surprise that the laptop I bought back then to do all these actually collapsed. It couldn't open the manuscript that had 800 pages. I want to cry. And I have several of these. So whenever I do a control F and I open up a new thing, I have to press F for respects because my computer just wouldn't load anything. This is my character profile that I want to thank Shishi and Cephalonia because they are the very, very, very first of my Patreons when I first opened it. They donated for like 1 month for fun and then they dropped. And then after that, they started, I don't know, was it Reddit? They started Reddit and they made a wiki for this. It's still probably abandoned, half done, not done, something like this. But anyways, this file is open for public, like everyone can view this. It's my plot file that was only created after season 2, I think. Yes, because okay, what happened was this. In season 1, there was like literally nothing to do because all the names, I didn't even name my main character in season 1, I think. It was like much, much later that I named him. Initially, I was so lazy. I was like, BoN, Ball of Nothing. I might as well just name the character BoN. And then, Junyan was like one of the first few readers and he was like, oh, I'm standing for Bon-chan. But in the end, I gave it a proper name. I was like, Zero, because your other opponent, which is your past self, is going to be Solo. So it's a philosophical thing. But anyway, so before that, I had no need for this darn character profile thing, which is like, not the most detailed, and I miss out a lot of things. So before season 3, I had a huge issue. I ran into a huge issue. I couldn't remember half the things that I did because I took a hiatus. Back then was like a juggling with 5 works kind of thing. I was crazy. Then I had to create this and reread the entire first 2 seasons just to write season 3. And because of this part here, can you see G? It's Half Moon Village, yeah. This part here I actually wrote down and I planned all the villages. Like, I don't know why I was this crazy. So I even planned the structure at one point. So all these, can you see? It's like so many people. It's like 38 people introduced in the second season just in like the first few chapters. It's so crazy that I don't even know how I did this. And this is why I discovered the need for this character profile. So this is like a throwback. It's a learning process. It's a long, 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 long learning process. And I also learned that Zeus has a harem. I used to think that, because I came from a slightly more Disney background, I didn't think that Zeus was like a playboy kind of thing. But yeah, apparently he's a man slut. But in here in this story, he's not a man slut, so I'm sorry for the inaccurate depiction, if any. So I make fun of gods, I make fun of all the gods, and it's very controversial. So a lot of people are saying like, if you are a believer, if you have religion, don't come here. And I've been asked by people who are reading this, like, oh, do you have a religion? I said, no, that's why I can make fun of these people. So they accepted it. But if I were to say, yes, I have a religion, and I'm definitely going to, like, be skewed and like be stared and like just be hated completely by the community for being such a narrow-minded slut. It's okay though. I have no hopes for this, but yeah. Now looking at all these things, I don't even know how I came up with half these ideas, like sky tangerines. Where the hell did this come from? And then the right color of green. Okay, this one I had a story because back then, before when I was doing my degree and having depression, and my parents were going through divorce, and my life is completely collapsing. I worked as a part-time assistant teacher for a childcare, and there was this particular kid who, I don't know, but they're obsessed with finding a particular pencil that they like, even though like we have four orange color pencils. They just had to find the one orange colored pencil that they always go to, and they are all the same brands, you see. So I find it very curious. They're like, no, DJ, this is not the one. This is not orange bounce. I'm like, this is orange. You can use this. It's gonna look the same. No, it has to be that orange pencil. So yeah, that's how I got the inspiration to write not the right green. So if you read this, it came from the reason why zero is actually born, like, written as a child. In the end, it's because well, I was going through this phase of life where they grow. And yeah, I was a teacher, I was a tutor, I am still a teacher. So it kind of comes from all these things. And then I made up names which you can see for yourself. Like for example, Mitch New is not a it's not an official name. I don't know how I came up with that. Yeah, and the second is probably not an official name either. Zenobia, I knew, I googled. And I like the meaning of this name because it meant warrior, and the chiefess is a warrior and is a warrior queen. So I was like, yes, bitch, I need this to be your name. And everybody else, like Grandma Mopo, I was like, oh, Mopo sounds cute. So it's like the Mopo for some reason, and they just add extra P inside, so it's Mopo now. Yeah, some of these things are just very crazy. Like Healing is because back then I was watching Exceed and I was like, she looks like a pixie herself because she's like, she's like disgustingly hilarious, and I was like, I need this in here. So it was modeled after her. And Guesha is like, I don't know where these half of these things come out from. I really should have been on crack when I was writing this. I have no excuse. But anyways, so yeah, Bob the dragon was deliberate because I was so obsessed with minions and I couldn't own the minion. Like I wanted the minion plushie, like the huge one that was like 1.8 meter tall. I found it at, where did we go again? It was like Indonesia. I can't remember it was Bintam or Batam. But I saw it. It was like 1.8 meter. It was Bob. I instantly recognized the minion by its name. I was like, Bob is my favorite minion. And then after that, I couldn't buy it because it was like 200 USD. And I was like, you're selling me this for 200 USD and I have to pay taxes when I cross the custom? Oh my god. So I was so depressed because I couldn't get that. And even if I could buy it and we paid the taxes, I would look incredibly stupid because I'm not that tall and the stuffed toy is way bigger than me. And yeah, I would probably sleep on the floor if I had that stuffed toy because that stuffed toy would be sleeping on my bed instead. But that aside, so I got so depressed. I was like, I can't have that stuffed toy. So I commemorated the memory of that stuffed toy into the story by writing it into a dragon and naming it Bob. A lot of people just think that it's hilarious to name such a powerful creature Bob, but no, there was a real story behind it. It's like something that I couldn't have, but I wanted to remember it, so I made it into this. And because I was afraid of getting smite by people, saying that, you have a dragon and you're gonna name him Bob of all things that you could have named him. So I was like, okay, I'll make him a very, very classic dragon-like name with like, class and elegance and powerful whatever sophistication. So I call him Bobbin Scryer. I don't know why I came up with that, but it just rolled over the tongue, and I was like, okay, Bob Squire, but nobody's gonna call you Bob Squire, so you're just gonna be Bob for like the rest of the 600 over chapters that I wrote. And then I made a mistake. I wrote Bob, but because of typos, I wrote Boop like with an extra O, so it changed the entire thing, and it was there for like, I don't know, probably a year or more, and nobody bothered to tell me until like the recent, I don't know, features like many hundreds of chapters later, and someone was like, oh, you made a typo over here, it's hilarious to see Bob become a boob. And I was like, oh, you didn't tell me this. And so I want to blame my truant army, especially Ashmouth, for not picking that out if they actually were proofreading it before. But I fixed this now. Like, that is the one typo I had to fix because Bob is not a boob. So yeah, that was like moral of the story. Why do I do this? Yeah, so a lot of these things, and yeah, there you see Bobbin Square is over here. And then me came because me was my phone, and I thought if you had a system assistant, it's gonna feel like a phone. So I just took it off from like the brand name. My phone back then was Redmi 1. It's Xiaomi. So it's not very good. I still have it. It's functional. I use it as an alarm clock. Because the memory space is no good and all, and I have a new phone. It's Asus, so maybe in my new book I will call something Asus, because this phone itself, while I can use it, it's not the best, like the best. I probably will find something that will, allow me to use greater camera functions, but for now Asus is going to be it. So yeah, I just, yeah, and then we have all these bonus scenes. It's because I'm very anime culture inspired, which means I get it from omake. At the end of this series, not series, at the end of the episode, you actually see this thing after the ending song, and then there's like this very short mini clip, like less than 30 seconds, and it's like omake. Yeah, I came from like Hitman Reborn background. They had all these cute things like Suna the Monster Slayer series. I was like, so I decided to write my own. Most people like to do these mini things in the author's notes, but I was like, you can't write that in the author's notes. It's way too short, so I made it an official chapter. So it's bonus scenes, and it's milestones and chapters, and I even had like alternate universes and stuff like that, which is what I actually want to see my fans doing in fan fictions of Ball of Nothing, if you actually ever do it. But I don't know if it will come true because I'm not popular, I'm not famous, and this work is like, not getting a lot of love, not getting too much love, not getting the love that it's supposed to get. So I actually gave it an ending. I gave it a proper ending, but I didn't give it the ending that I had in mind when I first started this. So it's a bittersweet kind of thing. So season one is pretty short. For web novel standards at least. So it's like less than 100 chapters, and then it's like, oh, it's the end of season one, let's moving on. And then season two happens. So season two is when, all the things start to change drastically and get serious. And it's like Destiny ICG, the author from not web novel, the author from Wattpad is back, like with all my self-published knowledge and plots and arcs and everything. And yes, this is where my brother read it, and he told me, you killed the dragon. How can there be a dragon in this chapter? And I was like, I killed the dragon? And he was like, yes, you killed the dragon in one line. I was like, I killed the dragon in one line? And then he went back to find it. And yeah, it was full of plot holes because season one wasn't built to be this way. I didn't plan, so I only started planning in season two, which, well, the plot holes are all there. So yeah, and then you can see the arcs are getting longer. And season two was an accident. It was supposed to be like he briefly loses consciousness, makes friends with demon lords, and move on to heaven, and then comes down and like tour Earth, and then go on a multi-galaxy adventure, and then collects all his identities and memories and selves, and then fights with his past selves, and concludes it with a victory. Yay! But no, that was not what happened. I had too much fun. So you should be Destiny on crack when I wrote this. I, for some reason, spent 126 chapters on a side arc in Hell that became an entire season by itself. I don't even know how. But yeah, this is the one thing I learned about web novel. It's like you can make something small into a big thing and people wouldn't mind. For some reason, it's like it's completely different, but it's like it became an arc on its own. It kind of built around what he was doing. And then after that, I was like, okay, since, Hell has already made itself an arc. I might as well make an arc for heaven instead of make it like a side story. It's like an entire season now by itself. Nobody should be complaining. And I did. So that was season 3. Not very different. Okay, the only difference is that season 3 onwards, I think I was doing the MGS, so like the chapters and the word count and everything starts to fluctuate like a lot, which I don't care for, because I asked all my readers. I was like, okay, what is your ideal chapter length? Would it be like 1,000 words, 2,000 words, 1,500 words, or like, anything that I desire? And they say anything that you desire. That was like the most votes. And I was like, okay, so some days I do 1,000 words, and other days I do like 5,500 words for some reason. Depends on my inspiration. That was how I made it through. And because I was on the old scheme for MGS, like the very last batch of MGS old scheme, they don't count by daily word count, they count by total word count at the end of the month. So I was like, oh, this is easy. 5k chapter, there we go, slap. That's like 20% done, that kind of thing. So season 3 was kind of like in a mess, major mess, but that's okay. And after season 3, this part over here that you see a lot of bonus chapters, a lot of people are asking me in panic. They were like, author, are you actually ending this series? I'm like, no, chill. I'm just doing this to wrap up all the things that I wanted to wrap up that I couldn't wrap up in the arc prior to this because I had no breaks in between. So yeah, it's like a mini panic version, but I told them it's okay. And then they moved on. And yeah, so moved on to heaven, and it's like, you can see. So after they came down to heaven, so this is like season 4, and season 4 was supposed to be like I would assume it's a midway kind of thing. So I would say I was about 40% or 50% done with everything that I wanted to do by the end of season 4, but it turned out to be 100% simply because after much consultation with the content editors, they were recommending me to find a place to wrap it up gracefully and move on with the next idea, because this is like trying to make a dead dog or dead horse come to life. Like it will not happen if it wasn't doing well before that, because of the reasons that the story was created. Like initially, you have one style, and then in season 2 onwards you change to another style, and people are feeling very lost, and a lot of people are just turned off by this inconsistency. They say you might as well just wrap this up, save your energy, save your inspiration, leave it, fight another day, come back with a new idea, challenge this again. Web novel is growing, you have new opportunities, you're wiser now, you've done this for 2 years, you are senior, you should be able to build your ground up all over again. Because I've written so many works on web novel itself that it's crazy. My writing portfolio is probably more massive than my number of degrees and my educational certs, and that itself is impressive. So this is season 4. I plotted 9 continents, 9 countries, something like this. So season 4 is by far the most complex and the longest, and Ash left me halfway, kind of. So I have to make do with whatever I had, but thankfully I think I bought Grammarly Premium. Yeah, I think I bought Grammarly Premium, so it was good. Okay. Right, so this is season 4 in all of its glory. I don't even want to think about it, because it's actually 9 arcs in one season, and by far the most complex of them all, because I'm actually doing foreshadowing at the same time. I'm also doing like endings, like wrapping up the ends. So yeah, it's everything coming together at the same time. So as you can see, like the first few seasons not so long. Season 4 is like and then over here, so I think preview chapters are not shown here, but for the author it will be shown. So without further ado, let's get this craziness started. I can't believe I was just ranting on for like 30 minutes now. Okay, so I'm gonna do this the smart way. When I say the smart way, I mean go to the back end here and then show you all what the things that you can see, like the number of comments, and that if you want to, check it out. So yeah, this is like all of the comments. So most of the comments are in season 1, and after season 1, you hardly see any comments except for that one comment every chapter by Huzian. Thank you so much for letting me know that I still have readers who exist. Right. So yeah, take your pick of poison. I will let you see for a while which one you want me to go through. I will do not replies, I'll do comments. Okay. So up to here we have chapter 8. So if you okay, let me know which chapters you want me to go through first, or you want me to go through like every chapter that has, I don't know, more than 20 comments, something like that. Let me know. Okay, otherwise, I have another suggestion which is called. I will go through reviews first because reviews are always a pain in the butt. Okay, I have 64 reviews, which might be a little bit alarming for some people. They're like, you have 3 million views, but only 64 ratings? I'm like, yes, yes, exactly. That's because you have no idea how many spams I deleted. Okay, so let's go by. Should we go by liked? I think so. Okay, there's one guy who actually wrote a rating that was like a not a very good one, and I was like, okay, I actually can't find any hate for this person because they are being very objective. Not that they were polite, but they were objective and they made sense. And I like people who are smart. Okay, smarter than like the average human being. Yeah, that was it. Hello, Dania. I see a lot of people here. Not a lot of people, but like enough people for me to be amused about this. It's a crack stream. Okay, so evolving human is like, I don't know, why is this pinned? Huh? Why is this pinned? I can't tell, but anyways. So yeah, he's like, I really love this novel. Its original idea and opens mind to new perspective. Welcome to Aitsuji's world. So yeah, a lot of people either love this or hate this, but yeah, I mean it's pretty amusing. And Silent Clown is actually Junyan. He's my cult leader. It's like the very first person who's like, I need to make this a fan club because Zero-chan is so cute. And we actually read the same thing. It was called Night Ranger, if I was not wrong. I love that book, but that book was like the JKS before JKS was JKS, okay? And they received so much hate. I gotta tell you that before this era, JKS is like the third era of web novel authors. Okay, like he was first generation. I'm second generation. JKS is third generation. So that author itself who wrote Night Ranger had so much hate. But honestly, there's nothing to hate about his book. It was good. It was original. I just loved everything about it. There was no plot holes or whatsoever. But people are just shitting on him because they are being complete retards that made him quit writing altogether. And I'm telling you, JKS is like half considering whether he should quit or not. Like at this point, the amount of hate he gets for doing what he does and doing his best, and people still being ungrateful bastards, are just really taking a toll. So I only learned about this when we had that interview. Yeah, but like before this, I thought he was doing great. Well, it turns out no. And I thought he was older than I was, but well, I was wrong. He was younger than me by 2 years, but I should have reached out. Anyway, so this is the cult leader. This is the Discord, which I don't know if people are actually still joining or anything because it looks pretty much dead. But yeah, I have people like that joining, and most of them are people still in school. I'll say they are all still in school. Okay, so this is my shameless author announcement. I did a few of these to like different phases of time need different kinds of things, and yeah, it's a very long thing that you can read by yourself. I don't want to read it. This is the guy whom I couldn't even be mad about because they gave me a 3 star, which was objective. It wasn't the best, and they had things to say, which I completely understand. And you can see anything that has a bad rating automatically gets the most number of likes. Can you see that? People are just like, yeah, it's shit. It's definitely shit because one person said so. And it's like, and then everybody jumps on the hate train. It's just so common and typical. But at least this guy, he wrote it in a way that was amusing to me and objective enough that it was true. So yeah, a lot of people are like, oh my god, Zero is so cute, but also a lot of people are like, motherfucker, this guy is dumb as rocks. Like, I'm not doing this shit. Well, that's because of expectations and reality. What is cute in one person's eyes might seem annoying as fuck or dumb in another person's eye, but honestly, if you ask me, all kids can be cute and pieces of shit at the same time. Doesn't matter if you own them or not, they are gonna be this way. So that is essentially what Zero was. You can't blame someone who's innocent, especially a kid who's gonna be like this. So yeah, in summary, and this is what they say. So yeah, they just don't like the idea of, being human enough. And I don't think all these people like the idea of reading a philosophical fiction. They just want something that is light and heavy to read, like, easy to go about and like feel powerful and give them that high feeling, the trip, of being something incredible in their boring and miserable lives. This is not how it is. Or at least not in Ball of Nothing. This is not what I'm selling. In fact, I don't even sell you things. I just put it there for you to read if you like it. And if you don't, you can walk away. But people feel the need to condemn things that doesn't suit their taste. So this is one of it. But they also pointed out something that I'm very proud to say, that they don't have problems with grammars, typos here and there. Yes, it's negligible. Like Bob into boop. Some people find it amusing. I don't. But anyway, so an okay grammar means that at least the author still cares about their work. So that's a positive, I guess. Okay, first things first. An okay grammar is because I worked hard on this. I worked hard so that I can be a self-published author without needing an editor. So I actually paid my first editor, and I received critics like no tomorrow. I cried for like 2 weeks, and then after that, I paid her a second time, and then I paid like two more other people just to see what they said, and everybody said it was shit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna publish it then. That was Fons Vitae, and then after that, my second book, which was my suicide novel, which took me 2 years to actually write, I went to the editor, and then they came back to me and they said, I'm gonna give you a discount because there was hardly any work that I can do about this thing. It's so polished, you are there. I'm just changing a few formatting things in here for you, and I think you're great to go. Except that they told me it was a very niche thing, and I was like, yes, I understand it's a suicide letter, so of course it's gonna be niche. It's not meant for enjoyment or entertainment, it's meant for myself. So I published it. It's called The Liberal Assassin. But anyway, so I reached that standard after several years. So I've been writing since I was 15 from fan fictions. So I'm 26 now. You can see this is what a decade does to you. So when they said that it was okay, I was like, yes, thank you. Somebody actually finally understands that this is quality content. And then they say that I don't have a horrible naming sense, which I beg to differ, because honestly, I think my naming sense is just completely bulls. And then they said that the world building was actually decent. Well, world building is actually one of my trademarks, especially when building high fantasy worlds. I succeed at that extremely because I live not on Earth. I live inside of my head like 95% of the time. So I have a very clear view on the worlds that you don't see, that only I know. So yeah, world building is I live in this world, so I bring it out on paper in the same way. Yes, so they can say that it's original, despite the things that they didn't like about it. So yeah, whatever. So this is something that I couldn't hate. It's very objective, and they knew what was facts and they knew what was opinions, and they stated clearly what was opinion and what was fact, which thankfully, yeah, this is one of the hate reviews, not really hate reviews, like this is one of the critic reviews that I wouldn't mind getting. Like really, I have to thank this guy, and I think I did. Yeah, I did. So yeah, and then after that, a lot of these people came in like, oh my god, oh my god. It's like, okay, thanks for telling me it's crap. It's crap. I'm not reading this. Yeah, I don't know why these people actually see this. So yeah. And then this guy just made me laugh from day one because he was like, looks at the title and how many chapters were posted. Nani? It's like 95 chapters of nothing? Yeah, this is like classic meme that should have been a meme in like the cult, but it was not. I don't know why. So yeah, and then there's like a lot of like this is also another meme review and stuff like that. So you can see most of them are okay. And then you can see people like this as well. They're just like blah 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 blah, and yeah, they they sound like they are mad themselves. But I mean, it's slow pace and it's like season one and it's not up to them. So yeah, they dropped it, which I'm happy because like they didn't spend time. There was one reader, he read like 126 chapters or something, and then he found out that it was locked the following chapter, and he cussed me out. He cussed my existence and said that I didn't deserve to exist, and that I'm a piece of human scum, and like yeah, whatever. I'm just like, you know what, you are the piece of human scum. So yeah, there were people like this as well, and then they blame me for not having the decency to actually tell people that I was gonna log it. I was like, dude, have you not seen? This is premium book. This is contracted work. You don't see gifting options open for free books. And if you're looking for free books, you should be going to pirate sites, which I know a lot of the people in the cult do. So I'm closing two eyes on this because my content editor isn't able to do anything about pirate sites, and Web Novel is not doing shit about it. So yeah, pirate sites are still available, and Ball of Nothing is one of the books that are always on every pirate site that you see for some reason. Okay, so yeah, Junian gave me another rating, and like I have a lot of spams, a lot of spams that I deleted, like all the emoji things. I hope, and this guy came back again. So yeah, generally I have no problems with the reviews here because I actually vet through this like at least once to delete everything that I actually don't like. Yeah, so I actually know some people who use alternate accounts. They use outs. And then this guy is like super random. He like invited me to a web novel Discord server for only Singaporean authors, which I left obviously because it was so dead and there was like no point. I went to a cosplay convention, which was AFA, and I invited the people there to join me and they didn't. So I was like, you know what? I am not staying in this group because nobody is sociable, even though it's a networking opportunity. So I left. There was no point. Okay, so down here it's whatever. Yeah, so there are people who cheer me up as well and say, don't sweat the small stuff, like people have no taste, which I agree, some people have no taste. But yeah, generally, so 64 reviews, all these things, and believers back off, whatever. I have not seen all of these things. Like, I know there was one part that there was a lot of debates over the something that I wrote. Was it religion? No, it was like the concept of time or something. So I don't understand. And this one is I don't know, and some people say that I plagiarized this idea, but honestly, the starting concept of evolution from a creature of nothing is common for a lot of things. But the progression on how this works out is not, because nobody writes this kind of stories on crack. I do. I write it on biological crack. It's called my brain cells. So yeah, this is my very, very, very beloved True Anami and my one and only proofreader that survived until now. Hadis was supposed to be my other proofreader, but he became like, the leader of the cult group now. We still keep in contact. So yeah, this is my proofreader. I have to thank him a lot. Ash really did me a service. Yes, and then after that, this is Huzian, the one who constantly leaves thanks in every chapter until this date. He still does. And if he is late, he will put thanks on every chapter that he has read. So that is really something. And then after that, yeah, so we have a lot of these things going on. And then I think Aniket was my previous proofreader or something for a while, and then they died. I can't remember who it was anymore, but anyways, I had several of them because I always called out whenever I needed proofreaders in the chat. Why is this a 3-star? Blah 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, another hate. Whatever. Yeah, so and then a lot of these reviews here actually kill the hype of wanting to read something. They're like, oh, it's good for killing time. And then a lot of people just assume, oh, it's only good for killing time. I might as well not waste time reading this because I have no time. So yeah. That was something that I don't know why this is here. Okay, that was something that really turned people off when they read the reviews before they find my books. So now we know why it doesn't sell, because the people reading it doesn't sell it well. Okay, so I guess we go to chapter 1 straight away into the, I don't know, man. It was like what? This chapter is literally 200 words, which is from here. In the Bible, God created the world in a mere 6 days. On the first day, he said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. Have you ever woken up to the brightness of day and realized you could see for the very first time? Probably not. Lucky you. For me, I can assure you that it wasn't pleasant. Before God came into the picture, I was there, just lazing around in the middle of space and minding my own business. All of a sudden, this newbie who discovered the power of creation decided to run an experiment to test his abilities after intruding into my territory and created a whole universe. Then, before I could collect myself, he was gone. Instead of my humble abode of emptiness, a whole solar system and galaxy now stood in its stead. What a mess! And then you have 59 comments over here. So, however, there was a silver lining. I soon discovered that my existence was a complete mystery. While Adam and Eve could sing praises to their Lord and call each other by names, I am left to wonder about what I am. Better still, am I dead or alive? What's the meaning of my existence? How was I created? So like this is like me on crack when I did this prompt. That's why it's in first person POV, which you know by now. I normally do not like to write in first person POVs. It's kind of like a writing prompt diary thing on crack. That's why I said it's a different kind of concept. But anyway, so I'm like 59. I don't even remember this having 59. Like, why would this have 59? Oh my god, is this like the theory, conspiracy theories or something? I need to read this. I don't remember them being 59 comments. What? Is there no sort category? Okay, no, I don't know how it's done, but okay. Okay, many people like this story, like 200 people like it. But then I only have 64 reviews. Y'all, can't you give me better review ratings and, like, vote? Like 233 people voting is like 233 stones. I don't even get power stones nowadays. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so in the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and been widely regarded as a bad move. Okay. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay, it's probably like a reference to another web novel in here. Okay. Okay, a lot of people are like, I like this. Hmm. Okay, and then there are some people like this who are like, oh, I think that this is a foreshadowing for something else. Hmm. Yeah, and then yeah, it's interesting to see some of these comments here. My long lost brother, god of laziness, join the procrastination clan. Okay. How is this blasphemy? Come on, it's parody. It's theatrical comedy. It's already in the text. But okay. Too lazy to even bother. Yes, that's right. New concept. You like it. It's actually not a new concept. It's from the Bible. But I won't tell you that because you don't read the Bible. Who left the stars on the floor? Some people don't know how to clean up after themselves. They're still level 1. Probably means that the account was deleted or abandoned or something. Right. Okay. God is so rude. Oh, you want to take that back if you have a religion? Okay. Ronin will stick around because of this newbie. Okay. And then you're like, okay, maybe you're still an active reader. Blasphemy, I tell ya. This is interesting. Okay, and some people are so judgmental. I barely know you and I already like you so much. You sound like my stalker when I was in 20 when it was 2017. I was like the admin of this huge KHR page and I roleplay Hibari and I was like the admin to do that. And I also wrote a lot of like, fan fictions for a lot of the fans who had friend requests. My god, you sound so judgmental. Like all of my stalkers back then that I had to change the phone number and I had to erase my profile and go offline for like several years to, run away from. Anyways, what? A dick move makes a child doesn't pay child support. I don't understand this, but okay. I see. Okay, some of it looks like duplicate comments, but okay. And then there's people like this. I hate people like you. Why are you always doing this to people's religion? It's offensive, and I would call these people Karens, but I don't actually know their gender, so it might be rude. But at the same time, I don't really care about that, so I'm just gonna call them a Karen. Yeah. And then yeah, you have people like this defending me, which I didn't know about because I actually honestly forgot about this. Now reading through this, it's like oh my god, you are a piece of shit. But because it's been too long and too many people have jumped on this train, I will probably leave this comment here. So like, yeah, it's he's not the only one. Like SCP Foundation is not the only one doing this. Yeah, so wow, it's an essay over here. Holy shit. I cannot comprehend why 12 people took this seriously. It's 1 year late, but thank you. Doubt the author meant to crap on religion. It's clearly meant humor. Yes, you are right. It's theatrical parody. If you see the tags, it's there. You guys just don't know what it is. Whatever, so. Okay, light novel doesn't follow the norm. It's controversial, which is, yes, it's definitely not mainstream. You are right. I'm sorry I'm 1 year late. Yes. See, so there's like a lot of people who are. Wow, I should have read this like a year ago. I don't know why I don't check. Okay, I remember why I don't check comments now because some of these people just like pisses me off so much. You sound dumb right now. You should invest in a way to delete your comment. I can help you with that, but it's just too amusing. I just want to see more people actually jump on this train to tell them off, like, you are stupid. But it's like 2 years late, but you are still stupid. That would be so nice. How long would this actually go on for, I wonder? But yeah, this is 59 paragraph comments, like first chapter, but it's because it's in the first chapter, so it's okay. Hello, Forza Matix is here, and I see Droopy is also here. Welcome to this crack of a stream. I don't know why I'm doing this, but hey, welcome. Whatever. Yeah, I'm just doing a throwback and enjoying myself because I'm like chasing away the blues and like semi depression, but it's okay. It's like end of the series, yay. So Jesus kind of sus, not gonna lie, let's vote him out. That's like an Among Us. It's an Among Us. What that? It's Among Us reference, right? Sus vote. Yeah, I think so. So this is the origin of atheist. It came out of the void. I mean, you probably are not wrong about that. I didn't actually know it though, but let's take it as the truth now. Oh, it's Ronnie. Yeah, it's. I don't actually remember, but thank you for joining. Like, I remember you as the giraffe guy on Void server mostly. I'm sorry. Yay, so Felix is like, I think, therefore I am. Tongs, therefore is. Oh my god. It's 69 likes, wow. I don't want to ruin this by doing like 70, so I'm just not gonna like it. But yeah, I think, therefore I am is a philosophical quote. I can't remember by who, but hey, that is actually really pretty cool. And then the sponsored line break announcement is added on like probably a year later because a lot of people are just dissing me and telling me things, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna give you a heads up and everything. So, yes. Okay. Yes, and then after that, all these people are whatever. So a lot of people are like, yeah, you shouldn't put all these things because you will, just inspire people to go and find pirate sites and whatever. You know what? I'm just gonna tell these people I'm gonna do whatever the shit I want and they can shut up and go away if they don't like it. Besides, this is a free chapter. This one line sponsor break will not kill you. Most of you don't pay. What's the problem here? So I'm just like gonna ignore this part. And this part even, I have received so many comments, like I don't know why people are just commenting about this thing. So it's a very long note to tell people on what the shit they are signing up for if they read past chapter 1. And some people just like, oh, you know what, moving on, I'm not gonna read this. And then they moved on and then they cuss at me and they're like, why didn't you tell me all these things? Oh my god, I wasted my entire life reading this. Well, it's not my fault you failed to read the author's notes when I said read it. So, yeah, I'm not taking responsibility. Well, in any case, I have more than just paragraph comments. I have like 99 plus 460 to be precise comments. Yeah, so I can see more of that drama coming up in here. Not even sure if there is a conspiracy theory argument in here. Doria, yes, I like web novel is a place that I try, but I don't think I will stay for. So I'm moving to tapas, especially for Godfather's War. I will try one book with web novel every 6 months, but not more than one. I'll do everything else out of web novel. I'll only try one book 6 months from completion to end on web novel. So that's my strategy from now on because web novel doesn't appreciate people like me who are way too good for them. Right, so that's a kind of a joke, like semi joke. I still think I'm too good for web novel now, but maybe in a few years they might up their standard to meet me that I can join back again. But I've been here for a while and I kind of am used to a lot of things that the back end does and I like it there, so I might not go completely, but I will not stay forever. This is too small a pond for someone as big as me. So yeah, and yeah, I can. And then it's one thing that I really want to say about my readers is this: they come here because of a no romance tag, and I think I'm in the leading for no romance tag stories. So one of these romance, I'm up there in the tag finds. So a lot of people just I ask my readers, where did you actually search this from? And then they said, "Oh, we were bored." I just searched up ball, and yours came up first. So I was reading it because it said ball of nothing, and I was like, "Why would you search ball?" It was like, I did a typo. Okay, don't judge. I was like, "Okay, as long as you're reading my book, I have no questions." Okay, to Dania, please watch my previous stream. You will have the answers that you want. It's 2.5 hours long, but you can skip through it to see everything that you want, or join the Discord server, get your roles, and then wait for the blog to come out for a summarized version. I'm not answering it for today. Okay, so this is some of the, yeah, no romance tags is one of the things that really sold. I think gender neutral was one of the things that really sold. If I actually put something like Shota, or if I put something like Traps, it would have sold even better, but that was not the point of this book. So I mean, sure, he doesn't really, like, eat, and he doesn't really shit, and he he has no genitals. Yeah, this is what the story is about. But a lot of people come here expecting no romance. They had no romance. A lot of people come here and they saw a cute kid, and then they're like, okay, they got cute kid, so it's okay. Overall, it's okay. Theatrical is a tag for warning purposes, but I don't think anybody actually comes in for theatrical or controversial. So yeah, most of it I think are give comments. Yes, I think most of it are give comments. So it's like, wow. There are a lot of people just like to give balloons. I don't know if it's because it's a meme or anything, but um Ball of Nothing and BALL balloons are kind of like similar. So I think this is why they give balloons. I am not sure, but they've been gifting me balloons like since forever. And because this story was before the era of Fast Pass, so I have a lot of gifts, and I have a lot of free coins, and I have a lot of, yeah. It's not accurate to say that I earn a lot from this. I don't. I barely earn anything from this. I don't even earn USD $1,000 from this. And I can tell you that is true. Um, do I earn USD 1,000 for this? Let me just think. Yeah, I think I did. I earned like 1,200 USD from this from MGS that is paid by Web Novel, not from my readers. I definitely earn less than that. Okay, so Skiero should be my cousin. I'm not very sure. So like her account was like gone. She just left Web Novel ever since she got in music school. And yeah, then there are people who are complaining chapter is like just 5 short paragraphs, 200 and blah 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 blah. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, this is a writing prompt. It's not a chapter, it's a writing prompt. And then they're complaining, oh my god, your author's notes are longer than your chapters. I'm like, yeah, that's because some people's bullshit are longer than their brains. Like, your gray matter cells are not as much as the things that come out of your mouth without thinking. So, whatever. They have read this on Royal Road? What? Okay, this is one thing I don't know. Yeah, so, well, in any case, I did apply for Royal Road for this for like once, but it got rejected because Royal Road was like, are you sure you are not a fake author? And I'm like, there's only one of me. Which motherfucker wants to sound like me? So yeah, but Royal Road wasn't taking it, so I was like, fuck you, Royal Road. And then I came back 2 years later, and I got it done like a few weekends ago with my cousin. It's the Snowball Monster project that I talked about for those of you who follow all my streams. Yeah, it's a Snowball Monster because I've been writing so much that I want to update so many sites. I have like 11 sites that I update to, and yeah, I I had to mass upload so many chapters like hundreds of times all over again, and I didn't have that in me. So my cousin spent 3 days, like full days, from early in the morning all the way until midnight, just uploading chapters after chapters after chapters for me for 4 books. Mm. That was the Snowball Monster anyway. So Royal Road was one of it that I didn't do for Ball of Nothing, but I put Ball of Nothing's promo chapters, all of it to Wattpad, which is a bad decision because Wattpad doesn't appreciate this. So I was like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. So I moved Godfather World after I knew that, it's a similar thing to Ball of Nothing in terms of the genre. Okay, so maybe not because that is video game and this is fantasy, high fantasy. So yeah, but anyways, that kind of genre doesn't do well on Wattpad I learned, so I moved it to Tapas hoping that it would be a little bit better. Yeah, so anyways, Royal Road is a no-no, at least not for this. I refuse to go through this identification theft kind of thing, verification. I was like, no, no, thank you. I don't have time for this. So I moved on and then I came back and I'm never uploading Ball of Nothing there again because I mean, if it's not gonna work here, it's not gonna work on Royal Road. Very, very true about that because the style is not meant for it. So yeah, the rest of it, I'm gonna assume it's all balloons and Balloons Fest. Yes, I was right. I think I was right. Yeah, it's like a ring and balloon and gifts and yeah, I'm not reading this anymore. Okay, so the next one over here. Hitchhiking. Okay, there's a paragraph comment on hitchhiking. Why? Why would Guide to the Galaxy? Okay, okay. Okay, so imagine you're a ball. Is this a POV thing? Imagine you're that ball and watching a new universe and world getting created and watching as time progresses. What a nice feeling watching the new universe and their world continue developing. Well, if you read this in Morgan Freeman's voice, it would have been nice. Without that last part, of course. Okay. Wow. Newbie got yeah. This is nothing new. Okay, so I'm not against this. It has more paragraph comments now. There was a dictionary. Okay, yeah. I mean, you don't ask about the egg or the chicken, which one comes first. So you don't question if there was a dictionary in creation because the Bible said so, and the Bible is the only gospel truth that was written before time. And yeah. Anyways, this is the reason why the story made no sense, and it continues to make no sense. It's just for fun. Okay, so this is I have my gender finally identified. Besides being depressed, it's now depressed, a lazy ball of nothingness. Well, I hope you are, getting better at that. I'm burning through my list of spirit animals. This ball of nothingness can be one too. Okay, I mean, good to know people relate with this. Like I didn't mean for it to be this way. And check that out, it's 88 comments. Like what are the chances? Okay, so I probably won't go through all these things. It's in like first person POV anyways. It's hitchhiking on meteorite, so don't ask me where I got the inspiration from. I don't remember. Okay, so this is Ella. Ella has recently tried to read this before the stream today, which I think she successfully failed because there's way too many chapters to be read and she has school. But thank you for trying. Yeah, and yeah, this is not the conspiracy one. Okay, there's one fan that I want to highlight. It's the sweetness. So she actually came from a lesser known work that I did. I hardly do romance, but because of Islinda, I wrote a romance book for her to get contracted under her. So the sweetness found me through that book. It's Love Journal as told by an emotionally constipated half genius. That is the actual title of the book. Like a very long title, but web novel doesn't have a 25 word limit for titles, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think she finished reading this book, but that's okay. So at least she gave it a try. I know she follows all my BL books though. Right. She's one of those. Yeah, so a lot of people who like this actually like the creativity, but honestly, they should just be very straightforward with me and not sugarcoat things. If it's full of crack, they can just say it sounds like I'm on crack, which is something. Yeah. Okay, wow, this person is like reading is one thing, believing is another. So I guess I'm good even as a religious person. Of course you are. You are an intellectual religious person who knows how to differentiate having fun and being a toxic person. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm completely okay with it. I think Veronica 8 was a writer. I don't really know. I can't remember. I think she left web novel. I don't know if she's still here, but she tried to go solo. She tried to go out of web novel, and I think she's a BL author, but I can't say much about her. I don't know her. She doesn't talk to me. I don't know her. I think she did tapas as well. Okay, so the rest of it, I can assume are gonna be gifts. Oh, Okay. Ball of Nothing reminds you of the anime Tanako-kun is always listed. Yes. And I remember Ota is the one who is always carrying him, and then there's like a very very chibi girl who is like Miyagi, and he's like the I wanna be like Shisho, I wanna be listless too. Yeah, I remember that. It's like something I will always rewatch. It's a slice of life anime that I will tell a lot of people to watch. But back then when I came out with Ball of Nothing, I don't think I actually saw this anime. Yeah, I didn't. I just based this character on my brother, my biological brother, because he is one piece of lazy ass. Like there is nobody in this universe who is lazier than him. Like if you want to drink a glass of water, you first take the glass of water and then pour it out from the pitcher. Like that's what a normal person would do if you don't have a water bottle or if you're too lazy to get it because you're still in the kitchen. But no, my brother would just take the jug, open his mouth, pour the water in, and that's it. He won't even get the cup. That's like a new level of laziness. Can you understand that? I can't. But this character is it's heavily edited to be likable and cute in a way, but also annoying because it's like a, a less obnoxious but lazy version of my brother, like my real life brother. Oh, it's okay. He's next door, but even if he hears me, he knows what I think of him. Okay, granted, the other day he fixed my air conditioning, which is so far it's working fine now, but I don't know how long it will last for. But anyway, so yeah, maybe going to the army did him some good. But anyways, it's like if it appeals to him, he will get it done. If it doesn't appeal to him, then he will not do it. So my brother is like the laziest person in existence, which is why I wrote this model after him. And yeah, it's just what it is, right? So okay, and then like under the sea, I will probably not want to go through a lot of paragraph comments unless I see like a lot of it. So yeah, I actually did not watch The Little Mermaid in Disney before I wrote this, but I knew that the song actually existed. And yes, there's a lot of ships going on in Ball of Nothing for some reason. I don't know why, but people do ship them. I think the most popular ship in here would be Truan and Zero itself. Was it Truan and Zero? Yeah, anyways, it's a no romance, but people like to ship. Okay, so again, you can see how short my chapters are. Like chapter 3, dang 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 dang, finish. It's like 500 words or so. So season 1 is all gonna be like this. So I'm just going to ignore this things, the paragraph comments, and just go straight to the comments. And who knows how long his naps are? Well, according to my brother, a nap is about 8 hours, and then he doesn't sleep for 36 hours, and then he sleeps for 20 hours, and yeah, sleep cycles be fucked up, but not so fucked up as my brother's. And on the other hand, I barely sleep. I sleep like 4 hours on average because I have insomnia. It's chronic insomnia, and just saying, my period hasn't come for like more than 40. It's like 40 plus days. So my period is like late for 5 plus days, which is because of my health is generally not so good. Which is why I also think that I will not live past the age of 35 from my lifestyle and my inability to sleep and everything. But yeah, anyway, so we're like complete opposites. My brother and I are like complete opposites. I would have been better if I was male and I would have succeeded, but my brother is yeah, he would have made a good like, female because he's very passive and everything, and people would think that he's demure if he was female, but unfortunately he's not. Yeah, so what is the MC again? He's a ball of nothing. What are you asking? Yeah, precisely. The answer is a ball. Not a ball, but a ball of nothing. It's in the title. What are you asking? I cannot understand this person, but okay. Oh, so people in coronavirus, the sweetness is like, now we went to head to the beach and coronavirus is in full swing. Okay. Yes, Tao of Culture, this is actually made to feel like Little Mermaid. I think I have a lot of comedy chops in me when I write simply because I like memes. I am not a meme culture kind of person, but it's just a very ICG kind of meme. So it's like a throwback to everything that happens in my life and people who actually went through this phase with me. So yeah. Okay. Literally incarnation of your own, but okay. I actually dislike this kind of comments a lot because it's Yeah, I actually put it here. Well, you can see that I wrote an essay here, but I actually dislike comments like this a lot because nobody gives a shit about you and your advertising on somebody else's work pretending to be a fan of theirs. It's it's just yeah, I you shouldn't do this, okay? Your opinion and your advertising on somebody else's work is just rude, just downright rude. So I choked this person out of it. And I wrote a fucking essay because I was like, you don't deserve to be here and do this. So if I were to check this person's profile, I'm pretty sure they still haven't published anything. See? And I was right. Still haven't freaking published any book. Even though they said, oh, I have a better idea than yours and I'm completely original, and that yours is just stealing an idea that I dreamt about. Well, make something before you want to talk about it, you see. So I just hate these kind of people. Absolutely hate them. They shouldn't exist at all. And until today, nothing done. These are the worst kind of human beings. So another thing I realized about all my readers are EXP clan rules. Just a lot of EXP, 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 EXPs. Yeah, these people rule. Okay, so all these are gifts and whatever. So blah 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 blah. Okay, so Veronica 8, I don't really know them, but okay, they have like they have agendas for doing things that they do. So I will just move on. Okay, and this is clan leader. Yeah, so initially all my chapters are short, and I can write like what 8, 9, 10, 10 of them a day. I can write like 10 of them in one day, and then after that, I don't write for like the rest of the week because I'm too busy with my job and everything. So yeah, this asterisk thing and sound effects thing has always been on my mind when I wanted to do this, but because conventional literature did not make this acceptable, I forwent this with my self-published books. But because I do this a lot in fan fictions, I decided to bring it back in web novel, thinking that it will be okay, which honestly was okay. I just need to remove the extras, which I learned later on. So yeah, just forgive me for these things. And some of the weird bracket formation things is because they don't have bold and italics, which I normally use. Yeah, so I learned a lot in like just writing this stupid thing for like 2 years, coming three. So yeah. So yeah, this one I actually did research shellfish. I'm not gonna lie. I now because I'm writing Monarch of Solitude, I have to research its kingdom building, and I've never written kingdom building. But thankfully, YouTube has a lot of people streaming their progress in living in the wilderness with primitive technology and building stuff. So I'm safe for now. But before this, like 6 years ago, when I was going to write for Amazon, like they didn't have all these resources, and I was like so bummed because I didn't know where to start. And the internet, like 10 years ago, if you compare it, like I knew Alibaba before they were famous. So I even tried to order like things from them before, like containers, shipping containers. I was questioning if I could actually bring it. But yeah, that was before they got famous. But back then, you had so little information on the internet. You always had to go to the library, and even the books will not tell you what you want. And I had so many questions that, people couldn't answer me. And me being a half genius is just like natural curiosity kills the cat. And even if I have like 9 lives, I would never have enough lives. So I had to research a lot of things before I did things. Just like the paranoia sets in, and I'm just like, I can't handle this like without knowing. So it's similar. So in Monarch of Solitude, I had to Google the life cycle of a potato plant because I thought potatoes grow from, I don't know, bushes or trees or something. I knew that they were like the roots of the plant, but I didn't know what kind of plant they were, and they were kind of nightshade plants, so they were in the same family group as tomato plants, which would kind of, why their names are similar is because they're kind of in the same family category of plants. But anyways, so I found out that tomatoes were the fruits, which I knew since kindergarten because my teacher told me it was not a vegetable, and I argued with them and I almost got myself expelled and my mom had to interfere. But anyways, then after that it was like potatoes. So potatoes are like, they grow from the ground, but how do they reproduce potato plants? Like the original potato plant, was it from like a seed, and where did the seed come from? It's like, do you have to wait for the potato to like grow and then you cut it open and then there's a seed in the potato? Or like, do they even have fruits? Because I know some plants are not flowering plants, they don't have fruits. to grow from. Which honestly, I think that's like that's I learned it in primary three. I learned it when I was 9. It was like what ferns, like spores. They distribute by spores. I was like, do potatoes have spores? Is that why you see mini plants growing on the potatoes if you let it sit in the fridge for like 2 years, that kind of thing. Okay, not 2 years, but like a few months, like half a year maybe. So I was like, I had to go and research these things, and because I didn't know about it, you see, so I had to go and research, and I found out potatoes actually have seeds, but nobody grows them from seeds. At least not nowadays. You just grow them from a potato. So it's like you grow a potato from a potato. It's it's confusing, but I went to find like the reason why people don't grow it from seeds is because first and foremost, potatoes are flowering plants, so they flower and then they grow potato berries. It's called berries, yes. So the berries are poisonous, and if you take the berries apart, there's seeds inside, and that's how you grow potato plants. But the reason why a lot of people don't grow potatoes from potato seeds, from potato berries, and they grow it from the potatoes instead, is because they want to preserve that DNA. If a potato tastes good and they want to preserve this taste, they don't want to grow from a seed that has been manipulated with some cross DNAs because it would taste different. So they want the same batch, they grow it from the potato instead. So that is like the scientific reason. And then I got to write my potato arc. And then after that, I had to go and research frogs versus toad because I thought they were the same things, and I thought toads didn't jump. But now I know better. I didn't take biology. This is a disclaimer. I did not take biology. I took history. I took World War history, which is why I can, do economics, and I can do trading on the market for like anything, but and forex, and I was from business school, but I did not study biology, so I had like completely no clue, and I had to research. It's the same thing here in Bowl of Nothing. I have no clue about shellfish because firstly, I do not eat shellfish. I hate shellfish. Okay, it has like this weird taste of iron, which is probably why I'm like anemic, because I don't eat a lot of these things that give me the nutrients that I require. I just don't. So I had to go and research shellfish, and I actually came across this story whereby there is a stork, like a bird kind of stork, and a shellfish, like a clam. So I took this inspiration from my research to make it into a book, which spanned out to like a mini arc thingy. So yes, I had to research this shellfish to know, like, not all shellfishes have pearls, and pearls are actually the upper layer of your what's that, clamfish? No, no, no. Is it a clam? I think so. I think it's a clam. So it's like the upper layer of your clam, that shiny layer, that it's called mother of pearl, and that is the thing that actually becomes a pearl. So pearls, if you cross section this, it's actually started from like a grain of sand or something, and then the clam is like a, how I vision it, because it has no eyes or anything. So I didn't know that the shellfish is the thing that lies inside of the shell. I thought the shellfish was, you know it's a creature with no legs but only a tongue and no eyes, and that thing that lives inside the shell is like, I thought that was um a body part of the shellfish, but I was wrong. So the shell is not actually a part of the shellfish, in a sense that, some of them can change shells. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So anyways, it's mind blowing. So I had to research, and I knew all these things, and I was like, okay, so I know how shellfishes work now. So they actually use that muscle to pull on the top and the bottom layer to slam it shut, and using like a power of suction or something, which is why you can't pry it open, and they will know if there's someone, like, if it's time to go out, because it's like salt. They need salt water, so they will come out of that and open the doors of that shell to come in. So that's why I had to research shellfish, because I didn't know if I could do this for whatever. Yeah, I just had to know. I didn't know anything about shellfishes, but yes. So I researched it. I know. A lot of people are telling me that I'm stupid for researching it, but I had to know. Otherwise, I would never know. But yeah, this is the kind of things that authors do. This is why I needed a laptop that is powerful enough for me to do my thing. And my laptop honestly cost 600, no, not 600, $500 more than my PC. My PC was like 1.1k, and my laptop is like 1.6k, and my PC was like a slap-on in a shop, and there you go, you can have it and you can take it home. And the laptop was something that I had to pre-order for 3 months, and it didn't come on time because of COVID. And yeah, I ordered it in March. It only came like maybe 2 weeks ago. So that was a long time. Anyway, so this laptop is capable of streaming, which I think I know why the VTuber just now it crashed, because I was using something that the VRM that someone else created the VRM. This is the default VRM and it's doing great. So yes. So if I were to redo now, I would probably, do something like Potato Wars, Technoblade Potato Wars, yeah. Okay, chapter 5. Yes, this is like foreshadowing right here. So a lot of people by this point, okay, if you just read like until the first 10 chapters, you would already know how the story is going to end. So he says that it's a world destroyer or a world devourer. They are not wrong, okay, but it's something that I wanted to keep all the way until the very end of the series. So for those of you who are curious on how this story ends, um it basically is how it started. It is very obvious. The story ends the way it started. There is no, it's basically the entire story of Ball of Nothing is about the cycle of life that goes in a circle. So a circle has no start, a circle has no end. It just connects at the same point once it reaches it. So that is the entire meaning of Ball of Nothing and the story that I wanted to write. It's not the ending, it's not the beginning, it's about the journey. So you can draw that circle many other times, and every time that you do this, so for example, in this story, it's Zero versus Solo. So Solo had a backstory. So before Solo became Solo himself, he also started as this ball of nothing with no identity. Okay, and all the people that he came across with in his journey to create his story and his legend before he fell apart and became a fallen god, in a sense, a fallen creator, that now Zero has to take over the torch as a savior. So they switch sides. One becomes the destroyer, the other becomes the creator. But because Newton's energy law of energy conservation says energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed or converted, like, from one form to another, or like passed on to another object or something in like a various, like, I can't remember. Oh my god, that's been like so long. But anyways, energy can neither be created nor destroyed means you can only have one person creating and one person taking back what is created in order to create more things. If the atom that splits came from somewhere, then that energy itself in the atom, according to science and Big Bang theory, cannot go anywhere else. One day, this entire universe or the world will collapse back into an atom, and then the atom will explode again to create a different universe. So, Ball of Nothing was created based on this concept of never ending creation and destruction. It is a cycle, but how you make your life worth living when the ending and the beginning were already decided the moment you existed is a different story. So, Ball of Nothing. This is Zero's story. If Ball of Nothing was called Solo, he would have a different story. So, what I intended to write was Zero at the end. After collecting all his memory pieces, he came to understand why his past self made the decisions he made. And while it wasn't wrong, Ella, please go away. You need to study for your exams. Don't stay here anymore. So you can watch the replay after your exams, okay? Don't worry about that. Please go. Alright, so the reason why I wanted to write Ball of Nothing all the way to the end is because at the end, when Zero finds out Solo's story of how he managed to get through a journey to want to also save humanity and his creations and enjoy the beauty of this world, and became dark because he lost all salvation. It was something that, how do I say this? Like, if you have too much hope and too much expectations and the world keeps on letting you down, you just no longer seem to think it's worth it. So that's what happened to Solo. And then Zero, on the other hand, had all his comrades, had all the good things, had all the people who were just accompanying him for whatever he wanted to do, and essentially suffered no emotional damage and was like the best version and the ideal self that should have been to anyone given the best circumstances to be their best self. And Solo was like the person who had everything down on his life and was the worst possible version of himself. So when Zero devours Solo at the ending that I planned to do that I couldn't do, like now it's not the case. So I'm just sharing with the viewers who want to see like how the finale really works. Is when he finally devours Solo and gets back all his memories and gets back the power of creation, he has to know that the people Solo preserved under his power cannot coexist in the same timeline of the people that Zero maintains. This world is bound to collapse. He cannot play the creator and the destroyer at the same time. In order to create something and save someone, he has to destroy something and someone. To make matters worse, I was going to write that Solo's friends, Zero has has Truan, has the Demon Lords, has his army and stuff. Solo, on the other hand, the great gods were Solo's creations as well as his friends. So when they died as mortals, he brought them back as immortals. That was like the cycle. So the great gods died. At the end that I planned, the great gods died because not Zoro, Zero won. Solo lost. So the great gods had to die because their souls were no longer tied to the power of creation under Solo's name. So now the world is collapsing, and the world has to collapse because power shifts. He is the destroyer as well as the creator, so there is a conflict. And then now Zero has to make a choice, and the only choice that he can think of is what Solo did. In order to preserve the souls of the individuals who are now, like, NPCs to his existence, he has to take away everything to recreate a new system that will be more stable than the one that Solo created previously. So it kind of was like he will do this all over again. He will create a new set of great gods, this time with the people he came across from his multiverse journey who had became very close to him. For example, Truan was going to be one of those people. For example, Michnir was going to be one of those people. Cooks was going to be one of those people. The people from Half Moon Village. He was going to pull all these people's souls over and reincarnate them in different entities, but they will not be able to remember him. So that was the point of a creator. And because he was the creator, he couldn't let himself, continue to reap powers off because he has to continuously create and hold up the system. So he has to create another self, split off some of his entities after he collected them back again to create another kind of Zero. But he's going to do the same thing exactly like what Solo did, remove all the memories and put it in hibernation for as long as possible. So that was like the end of the story. It's pretty dark. So you will see that eventually the things that you try to keep a secret will not be able to become a secret, and they will come up. It's like, it's not meant to be there forever. So it will come up and then the cycle repeats. But this time, instead of Zero being the one who is the savior, Zero is now the creator and the destroyer. His new self that he splits out becomes awakened as the new ball of nothing to go on a different journey and adventure to reach the point where the cycle meets again. So that is the end. The actual end of Ball of Nothing that I couldn't write. So so it ended at Earth Adventure, but there was a lot of foreshadowing throughout. So a lot of these people already found out by chapter 20. They have already discovered the true ending of Ball of Nothing. So I've said whatever I should say, and I've said whatever I shouldn't say about it on this stream. So if you watch it, that's good for you. If you don't watch it, then may you forever live in questions if you had questions about the book anyways. So I was disappointed I couldn't get to this, but yeah. And it's over. Ball of Nothing is officially over. Yeah, I'm a fan of Rimuru Tempest, so it's okay. I wanted to buy that cup at AFA about Rimuru Tempest. It's like the slime version, but it was like a huge cup that I can put instant noodles and cook it in. But it was like $22, so I was like, no. And then I regretted not spending that $22 because now I can't find that cup anywhere. And I really like that cup because Rimuru was like on it and was so cute and was like merch. And I was like, I should have just spent $22 to buy it. But again, that was like $22. So I'm a little bit sad. And yeah, I should have just bought it. But I was in like financial difficulties back then. Kind of financial difficulties back then. It's because I didn't have a job. Yeah. Okay, so one major plot hole that a lot of people are telling me is because at the start of this work, the character manages to eat and assume knowledge and forms of the things that he ate. But subsequently, he never eats anything else. So, yeah, That is one of the things that really make people go, huh? But it's like completely different story right now. You are right. It's a completely different story. And then this is like one of the most touching things. Then people are like, oh my god, Namekuji is such a friend. It's like, we pray for you, good friend. That kind of thing. We be on our way. Yeah, that kind of thing. Like the clam or Namekuji or something, the shellfish. Yeah, it's like almost friendship, but no. So yeah, this is like it's amusing to see some of the reactions that my readers have back then. Now though, I don't know, I think I'm moving on from Ball of Nothing era because I have to look forward to new works and constantly move ahead. Otherwise, I would be like, I would die with a lot of regrets not being able to do a lot of things that I came to do. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. So yeah. I just straight out told this person disappointment comes from not reading disclaimers. I put many disclaimers that it's not gonna be this way. But people are like, "Oh my god, you just wrote something that's absolute trash because it's not what I wanted or expected and you was not told." Well, it's all told. You just didn't see it because you are fucking blind. But anyways, that's like I'm done with it. So yeah, this is not the conspiracy one. I wonder where is the conspiracy one. I can't remember. Not this. Not Namikuji either. There was one that has a very long. It's a very long ding dong. Not this. I want to show people on stream. Okay, I don't really know. Is it this one? No, it's not the slug. They were talking about like if there was like conspiracy theory. Where is the conspiracy theory? No, not this. Okay, let me see if I can remember where it was. Hmm. Is it this? Um. Okay, I'm not too sure now. Okay, how about I use this instead? It's much easier. I was at 8 and it's to 9. So for people on stream, this is actually my first time as well doing this. Like I don't actually use this backend comment function to do anything. Okay, nope, not this one either. I think it was a very long one. Was it this avatar creation? No? Yes? No? No? Oh, it doesn't really load. Wow, what the heck? Blah 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 blah. I think it was this. This is one of it. This is one of it. Which chapter is this? Oh no. I don't even know what it is now. What did I click previously? Play back on the stream, please. Is it this? Can someone tell me what chapter that was when I just clicked it? I can't remember. I cannot remember. Is it this? Speaking of Lyme diseases, because of this, Lyme disease is actually something that people know because of who was that again? Avril Lavigne. Yes, Lyme disease came from the awareness of Lyme disease came from Avril Lavigne because she suffered from it for like what 10 years before she made a comeback, and many people thought she was dead. Oh, she could have been dead, but she's not. She's still alive. That's good. Is it this one? I don't know where it is now. Oh my god, I should have just not. I should have just stuck to this. Nah, I cannot find it now. That was like one of it. No. No. Anyway, there were like arguments. Is that. Where's Douglas? I remember his name is Douglas. If I am not wrong, it's Douglas. So unless it's like completely removed. I don't know, I can't find it now. But anyways. Uh, they went in a whole conspiracy theory, and people are like, "Oh my god, I hate you." And I was just with popcorn back then, because like people are entitled to their opinions, but not everybody should have opinions. Like they didn't read and they assumed, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's been 1 year. Why are you guys still commenting on it?" And not this. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's this. No, no. Wow, there's a lot of memes here. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, no, I don't think I can find this. The stream is coming to 2 hours again. I said what I need to say, and I cannot find the things I want to find. It might be somewhere here though. It might be somewhere here. If it's not here, I'm gonna give up. Because memory fragments is like a huge thing. No spoilers for the hates. Cannot remember now which is the one. Is it this? Nope, looks long, not the right one. Not this either. Not this either. Was it not here? Nope. Nope. So Real High is actually one of the very old readers from like back then when coins were a thing before FastPass. Grum as well. Some of them are still in my server. I cannot find it. Why? Maybe it's not here. Maybe they removed. Oh, okay. One more thing I actually realized from readers. A lot of them are foodies, so they like to read things about food. System S 666. Not this, I think. No, me cannot find it now. Don't know. Okay, maybe I'll just skip to the one that is like B4. I think it's 120. 126. 136, was it? Was it 138? I actually don't know where my locked chapters are. But yeah, there was like one guy who's hating me completely for that. Where is it? I don't know. I don't actually know. Oh no. Okay, I have a cheat version. I'll just go to web novel and then I will find it from like an not alternate, what's that called? Incognito account. Then I can see the chapter is locked before that. There should be a lot of people just hating on me because I cannot find the conspiracy theory argument. So if anyone actually finds it, if you actually read this, let me know. Oh wait, no, it's 127. My bad. 127. 127 is this. So yeah. Right. Okay, so the calculation of fast passes are fine. Yeah, and then yeah, you see all these people here. These are the ones who are cheapskates, according to Islinda. uh, Yeah, and then they're like, "No, I wasted my time on a great story. I can't finish. I struggle to feed myself. I don't even have money for this kind of shit. I know I wouldn't have wasted my time in, yeah, whatever." So like his holy foot is really holy bullshit. Like yeah, so I told him off, and then he came back with a, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for being sorry," that kind of thing. But anyway, so this is what happens when you go premium. If you are trying a web novel, you would probably see more of this, especially if you're like a top ranking authors, like very popular ones, and your readers are all bullshit. Yeah, this is what you're gonna get. So they are saying that I didn't let them know beforehand before they started reading, but honestly, it's a it's yeah. So I put this here because of it, and I still get hate for it, so I don't care anymore. And this is actually copied from Miss Reality Bites. So she said she has six, and I realized I did not actually edit this, but it's fine. People don't know, and people won't check. But I'm just telling you guys, I don't have six contracted books on web novels. I might have 70 fanfictions on fanfiction.net, but I don't have six contracted books on web novel. So yeah, these are all like copy and paste from her, not me. The one that I actually edited was in Monarch of Solitude, so I only edited those that I needed to edit, and I add the last two paragraphs that was completely me, and you can see the style completely changed because I am never this polite to anyone. It's not in my blood. So yeah. So the moment you see that a chapter is locked, these are the people who actually came before it was locked, so it was okay. And then after that, you can see from here on, all the comments are just gonna go down. So if I just skip somewhere to like 300s, you'd see just one. And this one person is Huzian. So every time he puts a thanks comment, I will give him a like. So that's about it. This is Ball of Nothing, Ball of Crack, Crack on Nothing, Crack with Aitsuji, something like this. I don't think you guys have any questions, and even if you do, I don't think I want to entertain them. So all those people who before this were asking me unrelated questions to Ball of Nothing, please find your answers in all my past streams because I'm pretty sure what you are asking has been covered already. This week itself, I have streamed more than 4 times. I'm very tired. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I did it anyways. So yeah, that's all. I need to get writing, and this VTuber thing is actually working really well. So I might just do writing, silent writing stream. I might not. I don't know what I want to do right now. I want to finish my Coke Zero. Right, so that's all. And thank you so much for staying with me and check out my new work and stuff like that. And Ashmirth, thank you so much for like all the help that you've given for this Ball of Nothing journey, as well as all the patrons who made it possible for me to afford a VTuber software so that I can try and be a VTuber. Even though I don't sound like one because my voice is completely strained for talking too much and I have to teach classes tomorrow, so I don't know how I'll survive. But I will try. You can hear that my voice is cracking and dying. Right, so without further ado, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I have currently no plans to do any new streams or whatsoever, but I did like a Discord revamp for some of the things, so I hope that it's better right now for those of you who signed up.